Brown. It's J. Duke.
And I'm Marquay McCullough.
And this is Mark My Words.
That's one of the hardest things in coaching, man, is when you leave the house in the morning and they're asleep, and you come home at night and they're still asleep.
Right.
And your son will look at you and say, "Dad, where you been? You been out of town?" Like, nah, I haven't. I've been here every day.
Right. Welcome back to Mark My Words, ladies and gentlemen. Big time guest today, man. TSU head men's basketball coach and my idol, Penny College, man. What's going on, Penny?
Man, it's good to be here, man, on this Sunday.
Yeah.
Weather's good.
Man.
Up and down in Nashville, you know how it is. So but it's good, man. Glad to be here.
Man, there's a lot going on in the city, man. Just, the infrastructure. And, man, it's just, I feel like Nashville making a lot of noise, man. What do you think, or what do you like about what's going on in the city right now?
Man, basketball-wise, it's on fire right now.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're at this point that we are. It's been a long time. It's been up and down, but we're at a really, really good place right now, men's and women's basketball.
Yes.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. And even outside of basketball, man, I seen a stat or a tweet, rather. I can't remember exactly the number, but when we got X amount of guys from Nashville in the NFL that's balling right now.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you got the superstar Mookie Betts that's holding his own in the Major League Baseball. So.
And it's been like that for a long time.
Yeah.
We've been looking back into the days of back in the 50s and 60s. Nashville's always produced top level talent.
Right.
And to see that keep on rolling all the way up until now, man. You turn on TV and looking at the draft, and all they talking about is James Wiseman, a guy right here from 615.
Yeah.
And then you cut on the NFL and you see Jalen Ramsey out there balling. You know what I'm saying? And now you cut it on the World Series and we got our own Mookie Betts out there, balling. So we've always been in the spotlight. So we just got to continue to stay on that path and continue to reach back to others and bring the next one up.
Right. So, which you mentioned, the 50s and the 60s, and we don't have to go back that far, but man, with social media as great of a source and a tool it can be, it also helps you forget like that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, the whole LeBron and Jordan debate and stuff like that, but you also forget some things that guys before those guys, you get what I'm saying? Man, can we remind these young guns of some of the GOATs, some of the Nashville GOATs that was before them? And you can include yourself if you want to.
No, I mean, I wouldn't put myself in that GOAT category, but I mean, there's been some great ones that came through here. I think about just talking to the older guys that been through here, especially people like my dad who played in the 70s. But you go back into the 60s when you had Ted Hound McClain. That's the first name that always rings a bell. People don't talk about. Hound went on to Tennessee State and scored over 3,000 points and was an All-American.
Right.
Played in NBA and the ABA. Was an ABA champion, ABA All-Star, and had a phenomenal career.
Yeah.
And during that same time, we had those Tennessee State teams were winning national championships.
Right.
We had Dick Barnett, who's from New York, but he led a Tennessee State team to 3 straight national championships.
Yeah.
That had never been done in college basketball before.
Right.
That's the first time in the history. And it wasn't written about until UCLA did it.
Right.
Lou Alcindor was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got a Nashville historic landmark over there in King Hall that a lot of big time things went on.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Pearl High was jumping back then, and they were hosting the national high school championships were right here in Nashville, in King Hall. And as you know, your family's Big Spence.
Yeah.
Big Spence was a monster.
Yeah.
Tommy Springer. These are guys that were just unbelievable players. And then, I don't want to fast forward through eras, but I think about the David Vaughns.
Yeah.
David Vaughns' high school team at Whites Creek was number 1 in the country. The number 1 high school team in the country. David Vaughn at Whites Creek. And then you fast forward on up to, right in that era as well, Corey Allen and the Whites Creek. The Whites Creek guys were dominant. Dante Jones, what he did. His high school career wasn't what he wanted, but his college and pro career was just second to none.
Right.
And Ron Mercer and coach of CPA Drew Maddox.
Yes.
And then you move up into the Ron Slays of the world and what he did at Tennessee and went to Oak Hill. Man, Terry Reynolds, man.
Yeah.
Terry Reynolds went to Oak Hill as a sophomore.
Right. Hey, man, kids, y'all listen, man.
Yeah, listen now. Marcus Kinzer got his jersey retired over 3,000 points.
Right.
Josh Cooperwood. I mean, it's a million guys that I could go on and on and on about, but, man, I do remember growing up watching those Pearl Cone teams play. Yeah. And I thought those was 2 of the best teams I'd ever seen playing high school ball. And I had traveled all over and been to all kind of tournaments, but those 2 teams at Pearl Cone in the late 90s were amazing. to see those guys, the teams they would play against from out of town and things like that, man. So, and then a lot of people don't know about Jamont Gordon.
Yeah.
6'4" point guard, monster.
Right. Yeah.
Built like LeBron, passed like LeBron, athletic as LeBron. And he was one of the best players I had seen play in high school ball, period. It's cool. It's funny because he played at Oak Hill with Kevin Durant. And Steve Smith said he thought Jamont Gordon was one of the best players he ever coached. He didn't mention Kevin Durant's name. Jamont Gordon right here from Nashville. So,
hey, make sure y'all rewind this clip, man, and do your homework, man. Know your history.
But hold on, I can't go on without saying my guy Brandon Wright.
Yeah, for sure, be right.
Brandon Wright don't get enough respect.
You don't.
What he did for his career, 4 straight state championships in high school, 4 straight,
unheard of.
And he had a great team. Josh Bone was on that team. They had some good teams, but then goes on to North Carolina and goes one and done. And if it wasn't for injuries, he'd still be, a potential all-star in the NBA. Yeah. And who knows, be right, making a comeback in the NBA.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So moving into the guys now, man, it's just we got a long lineage of basketball that I just talked about 2 or 3 minutes about, which don't even come close to the history that we have.
Right.
We have a strong history of basketball that guys have played and went on and done some great things, and I'm just excited about the future.
Yeah. So, man, switching gears a little bit, let's talk training, man, or training and coaching. A lot of people may know you now as, Coach Penny, but you've had a great hand in player development as well. Myself and the guy behind the camera, coming up in them, running gun camps and the Sunday clinics and things of that nature, man. Just kind of tell us about that.
Man, that's really where it all started, Mark, man. Just doing those running gun camps. I call that my Master P moment. P was serving them CDs out the trunk.
Yeah,
that was my moment for my career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was serving them brochures out the trunk. I was going camp to camp, high school to high school, trying to find the best middle school players in the city. And, we had that running gun camp over at Watkins Community Center with 15 kids the first year. And we were serving them community center lunch with the Salisbury steak and the cold mashed potatoes and the chocolate milk out the blue crate.
Yeah.
Watkins Park only had 2 goals, but I loved it there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The energy was crazy, though.
Energy was crazy. And I still go back to this day, man. I still go over there and show love and, bring things over there, drop them off. I love Watkins Park.
Yeah.
But to see the camp go from Watkins Park with 15 kids to grow into 120 plus kids out there in a bigger facility out in Brentwood, like, it's crazy just to see the growth of that camp. And it all started with guys like yourself, believing in the stuff we were doing. And, Spencer and Jamal have taken that thing to a whole new level now. It's the camp, his Brandon Wright team, took over the running gun camp. But, man, just to see how that started to where it finished. And then the biggest thing is the lives that we impact on that time, seeing guys grow up into coaching and getting into working with the sports world and, or teachers or doctors, it's all kind of, we even got guys at the NBA, Jordan Bone, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's Darius Garland. All these guys came through the running gun camp, and, we just wanted to provide a platform for them to come and get better and learn some things from guys that you wouldn't have a chance to. Get some things that we didn't get a chance to get taught to us. Right.
One of my favorite stories, man, and I hope you remember it. You were doing some things with the Atlanta Hawks, on the back end of your pro career. And I'm not gonna tell the story. I'm gonna let you tell it. But you got it. It was basically about fundamentals, and which we're in an era where, we're seeing the James Hardens and. A lot of pounding of the ball and which have fun and be creative, the Kyries and stuff like that. But yeah, man, you was telling us a story, and man, let me I'm gonna let you tell the story.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. I gotta give credit to my dad, Coach Collins, because I've been around basketball my whole life, been going to practices and doing drills with the team, dribbling through cones and stuff my whole life. So. It was second nature to me, all the way through high school, all the way through Belmont. And when I got to Belmont, fundamentals was key. That was very key for us. And when even though my pro career wasn't long, my little 2-day NBA experience was with the Atlanta Hawks. They brought me down there for a rookie training camp to play on the summer league team. And I was just surprised at how many of the top level guys who are perennial all-stars couldn't even do 2-ball dribbling or couldn't finish with their left or right. You know, if they were left-handed, they weren't great at the right, or just doing stuff just with their right hand. If they were right-handed, they weren't good doing stuff just with their left hand.
Right.
And it just was shocking to me that here's the guys that are making all this money. Now, ultimate goal is you can put that thing in the basket.
Yeah, for sure.
it. But in terms of just being black and white fundamental and doing things right and making it look crisp, some of those guys were struggling with it. Yeah. So, you know, that's why right after that, when I got done playing pro ball, coming back from overseas, I started running gun camp because I saw that fundamentals was becoming second to a lot of people. Athleticism and, you know, double crossovers were more important than simple right-hand layup, simple jump stop, simple shot fake finish through contact. Right. It was more about Euro stepping and Ginobili's and deep, you know what I'm saying, deep weights and stuff like that. So that was a moment in my career where I never forget that, like, oh my gosh, fundamentals is really becoming extinct. Yeah. And we have to get back to it.
Right. Right. And transitioning into coaching, man, you had a heck of a high school career. At Whites Creek, then you transition over to Belmont. And man, you know, and this is me personally, and it may sound biased, man. I don't think that's talked about enough. What you do at Belmont, just being able to, you know, work with some guys, you know, at Belmont. You know, shout out to my guy Nick Hopkins.
My guy.
You know, man, walking
another
through the hallways,
another running
gun guy. Austin Luke and Clark and some of those guys, but walking through those hallways, man, and seeing Penny on there, I'm just like, man, this is not talked about enough. But you know, playing for a great coach and great bird, and then your dad, you know, as a basketball head himself, who would you say has had the most impact on you transitioning or having a desire to coach?
Besides my dad and besides Rick Bird, that's the question. I would say Tony Jones, who was the associate head coach at Tennessee with Bruce Pearl, and now he's at Oakland. He really motivated me and inspired me to want for more in my career. He was a mentor for me. He at the time I was just getting into the business, and shout out to Lonnie Thompson from Cumberland, because Lonnie was my first mentor. He gave me my first full-time job and really schooled me on the game about what to expect in the coaching world and what's going to happen next and how people can view you as a young coach and to get out of that stereotype. Lonnie prepared me for all of that. And I love him forever for that. But in terms of like making me understand how to get to this higher level, Tony Jones really inspired me by going down and working the Tennessee's camp when I was an NAIA coach at Cumberland. And staying at his house. He let me stay at his house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Most coaches make you just get your own hotel or something. I stayed at his house, and he had his big crib, and, you know, driving these nice cars and taking care of his family and helped his son put his son and his daughters through college. And, you know, he was just a great family man and coaching at Tennessee. Who doesn't want to coach in the SEC? You know, he just showed me that side of it, and he took care of me as a young coach and looked out for me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I would say that Tony Jones really, you know, inspired me to take it to that next level. Once Lonnie got me to a place to where, okay, I can really do this, gave me the confidence, Tony Jones gave me the that propel that I need to get me at, all right, not only can you do this, you could do it at a high level one day. Right.
And you also have a unique coaching career, and although you're still young in your career, but, man, you coached at all levels. You know, starting out at Cumberland, NAIA, transition over to Columbia State, Juco, and then, you know, you've been at several different places, Division I, you know, which you're at TSU now. And just kind of give us some hot takes at each level.
Man, NAIA, that was a great start. First of all, I got on as a GA at Tennessee State, got my master's degree under Psy. That was fantastic. But NAIA, I loved it. I don't never let people tell me that it's a low level or it's disrespect the NAIA teams. If we play an NAIA team, I'm like extremely worried because they're talented. Their guards are just as talented as any other body's guard, especially to be in major level. The difference becomes when you get to the front court. That's when, you know, there becomes a difference between NAIA and you know, mid-major basketball. But I never forget, man, out of all the places I've ever coached, I've coached at Kentucky. I've coached, I've coached a lot of places. I don't want to go down this laundry list. The toughest place I ever coached, Oakwood University. Shout out to Oakwood, man.
Shout out to Oakwood, man.
Oakwood University got the best basketball atmosphere.
Man.
Better than Kentucky, better than Memphis, better than anywhere I've ever been, man. And I love TSU. We're trying to turn our program into Oakland right now.
Right.
That atmosphere is crazy. It's only about 300 people in there,
if that,
maybe 200.
But the walls literally shake.
the wall shake. It's crowd. It's wall to wall. And every time they score a layup, they on the floor. The fans come on the floor, and the referee just looks at you like, I don't
unless somebody get crossed or dunked on, it's over with.
And with our 7-day Adventist, I'm assuming, so their games start late, so the men's game might not start till 9:30. So that you in there 11 o'clock coaching the game, and it is live, man. Yeah. So shout out to Oakwood, man. Y'all got a big time atmosphere down there, but. I loved it there. Junior college turned me into a goon. I really feel like it got me on my grind, and I had just got married. I just had my son history, and driving an hour to Columbia, Tennessee, and back an hour every day, man, really just had my mind on a whole nother level. Yeah. And we had a number 3 team in the country down there. We had some good teams, and then when moving on to Division I, it's Division I. I think it's great level. It's great basketball, great people, and now I'm just trying to carve out my own, with our program and our staff at TSU.
Yeah. And then going back to JUCO, man, you often hear, JUCO product, or you hear the phrase JUCO Life. And a lot of times I think that's, you think about players, but it's, that's a grind for coaches as well.
Oh, it is. It is, man. We don't have really full-time staff, full-time trainer. You do a lot of things on your own. Don't have many resources. The budget is limited. And then the fan support is the people that come to your games. They really love you. Yeah. They gotta really love you. And a lot of times you're in cities that are in the middle of nowhere. Right. Columbia, I love it. I learned to love that city and the people that surrounded that community. But they really cared about our program. But I tell you what, man, I wouldn't trade that experience for nothing. And I would tell anybody that, just worried about getting a JUCO connotation about you, just embrace it. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who you are, where you from. It'll definitely make you a better person. Yeah. Once you go do that 2 years, and as a coach, you get used to turning your program over. Right. 2 years, and your team is new every year. So I thought that was definitely something that helped my career as well. Yeah.
Man, let's talk about family. You mentioned your son. You mentioned your wife. Man, coaching, and you're a guy that's. I mean, you've bounced around. As we mentioned, you've been at all levels. Man, coaching is and it's something I'm learning in my coach career, man. It's a huge responsibility because, you have a group of 13, 14, 15 guys, like they look not only at you, but they look up to you. And they have families and loved ones as well that, and that's something I take, man. I tell my guys that, man, the reason why I'm so hard on you, the reason why I care about you so much, because when you signed that piece of paper, when you chose to come here, it wasn't just you. That was your mom. That was your dad. That were your siblings. That was your significant other. It's a lot that comes with you, and I think about that every single day. And I want what's best for you, because if you're the best version of yourself, you can take what you've learned or earned here. You can take that back home, and you can spread the wealth. But at the same time, it's, I have a family as well. I have friends. I have loved ones as well. And it's just like, man, when basketball season gets rolling, man, it's a grind. But just kind of talk how that's impacted you and your family.
It's definitely something you have to balance, learn to balance. You want to give your all to your team and your players and give them everything you got. But when you come home at the end of the day, you have to be able to give your family that same all. And a lot of people don't have anything left in the tank when they get home. That's why I really feel like God gives us, especially us men that are the head of the household, another level of energy once you get home. That tank's empty. Hey, refuel it. Yeah. Hey, because guess what? Your son don't care that you're tired. Right. Your son don't care that what you've been dealing with all day with your 13 or 15, 16 guys that you have on your team. So you got to give him that same love you just gave to them 13, 14, 15 guys you got at school. So I really kind of thought about those things, and especially when we're off, I'm off. I spend time with my family, make sure I'm taking them to the bed at night, tucking them in. And that's one of the hardest things in coaching, man, is when you leave the house in the morning and they're asleep, and you come home at night and they're still asleep. Right. And your son will look at you and say, "Dad, where you been? You been out of town?" Like, Nah, I haven't. I've been here every day.
Right.
You know, and that doesn't get talked about a lot in our profession. It's a hard business, and not only that, you have your family as well, your parents or your grandparents or your sisters or uncles, and everybody wants to feel like they, matter to you, and they do. So I would say the best advice for anybody coming up is that you gotta find time. You gotta find time to cut that phone off, to get off social media, to give your family their undivided attention they deserve. Because at the end of the day, if you don't, you ever get looked at like you're not doing, you could be doing more. Right. That's a big regret. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So try to give them all that you can when you can, and be there and keep them balanced and involve your family. Yeah. Bring your family to practice. Yeah. Bring them to games. Bring them on road trips. Right. Turn road trips into vacations. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we do all of that.
Yeah. And I think you did a great job of that, man. There was I don't know if you guys were shooting a commercial. I don't know if it was just something you guys were doing for social media. But I think either you or somebody walked in your office, but it was your son sitting in the office, and you got, just could kind of tell us about that. I thought that was pretty funny, by the way.
No, it's a commercial for ESPN. Yeah, it was OVC. They did a little series when our conference started, OVC Play, and basically it was like when a coach is stressed out about the season. And history, my son was my psychiatrist, and I was sitting on the couch just kind of giving him my thoughts on the season, and he wasn't even paying one lick of attention to me. He was playing video games, little Nintendo or whatever. Right. And so a lot of people saw that commercial, and but you're right, man. That's another example of just involving them. They threw an idea out at me. I said, let's do it. My wife brought them up, got them dressed up good. And to this day, whenever the commercial comes on, they're not showing the commercial right now, but if we throw it on YouTube or something like that, you're like, look, Daddy, I'm on TV. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's all about.
Yeah. And then your wife is pretty involved as well. Yeah. I can only imagine, you guys, being a married couple, and but she has to share her time, or your time, with your players, your program. Or you may be out recruiting, you could be at a convention. You're here with me right now. You feel what I'm saying? I think that's big, and I don't think that's talked about enough either.
No, you're right, man. I gotta give all women credit, especially when your husband is the one that you kind of are trusting him to lead. If he's the one that you trust in to lead, I gotta give my wife credit for believing in me, because in the beginning, when we first started off, she's the one that had the job, and I was a college student, grad student. Right. She had a job, and then I say, hey baby, we moving to Johnson City, Tennessee, and she like, all right. You know what I'm saying? She got to quit her job and pick up and go with me to Johnson City, Tennessee. Yeah. And then we leave there, and I'm saying, no, we're leaving. We're moving to Illinois. Right. Just trust me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And she got the family up, and we moving to Illinois. Right. And then, and you got to stick through and believe in, who you with. But at the same time, you got to understand that your significant other, whether it be male or female, if you're the one that's in the leader of the family, then you got to respect the fact that they may be giving up what they could potentially be doing for their career for you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big deal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's a big deal. That doesn't get talked about a lot in families, especially people in my profession that move a lot. That somebody is trying to have to constantly change what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? She didn't probably wake up in her life and say, I just want to be focused on being with, Brian Collins one day and moving city to city and changing my job, but he's keeping his same job every day. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you got to really think about those things, and I think about it all the time, and that's why, that's not why I love her. Yeah. But that's another example of how much love that we have for each other. That she's able to trust me, and I'm able to trust her, and we're both involved in everything that each other does. If she does something, you know what I'm saying, I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm all the way bought in, because what she buys in with us, I can't even begin to give it back to her. Right. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the things that she does on a day to day. So it's just a part of give and take, and part about being the head of a household and leadership and marriage. It's a give and take, and we're still working. We're not perfect, but we're definitely on the right track.
That's beautiful, man. I think you guys are definitely set a great example. For other coaches or younger coaches. But man, moving on to, some more challenges within coaching, being a young a young black coach, man, it could be tough.
Yep.
You know, I mean, we can, you know, just opportunity, you know, certain labels or certain stereotypes we receive. Another one, man, and we'll hit on all three of these, is, man, Doc Rivers inspired me, man. He was doing an interview with, man, don't quote me on this, please don't. I don't know if he was doing an interview with Essence or somebody, but what I took from his interview was, he was like, man, as a black man, as a black coach, it can be tough coaching young black athletes who don't grow up with fathers, because they take that experience and they bring it with them to campus. And man, you know, it can be tough. And for, you know, and for a lot of guys, you know, they do step foot on campus, and you are that father figure, and you're able to, you know, outside of X's and O's, you know, you're able to, you know, lead them down a narrow path, you know, lead them to their degree, lead them to opportunities, whether it be job opportunities. I was talking with our strength and conditioning coach at Cumberland, and he was telling me how Coach McKay at Liberty has inspired him to get married, and to, like you said, be the head of his household and go down the journey with his soon-to-be fiance. But man, it can be tough. It can be tough, you know, as a black coach, as a young black coach. Just kind of give me a spiel on that, man.
You know, I've been through this, and this is constantly on my mind all the time. It really first started with Lonnie Thompson, working under him, learning just the psychology of basketball in terms of what young guys think and how they think and why they think that way. And a lot of it is the history of how they were raised. A lot of it goes into how their parents raised them. And there are some young men that have mom and dad,
right,
and that have done it the right way, and they have missed a little chain link of how things should be done too. Right. You know, there's that too. There's not always just a single parent or the guy that came up rough. Some people had it good and still missed something. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is that the only way it truly works, in my opinion, is that you have to build authentic relationships with your kids, with your players, which are not kids. They're young men.
Yeah, young men.
Some of you young men have kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you have to build real authentic relationships, and you got to show them you really care.
Yeah.
Not by just, you know, having some fake lunch with them or some fake dinner or, you know, whatever, bringing them to the house and watching the game and it not being real. I mean, really sitting down and having conversations with them, having them in your office and chopping it up with them, asking them how their day is going, but actually care.
Right.
You know, it's one thing to communicate, but it's another thing to actually comprehend it and let it soak in and really care. Not be on your phone while you're talking to them. Right. Really caring about that individual in that moment. And then constantly repeating that over time, it'll kick in. And in some cases, you can do it 2-3 years in a row and it still doesn't kick in.
Right.
Until they get 26, 27, then they say, dang, that's what coach was talking about.
Right.
So, you know, while I'm in this moment, and I hate it when I see certain coaches like, man, look, I said the same thing he said. Why he jumping out of the roof now?
Right.
But that's just the way we've been conditioned growing up. And I could get even more deeper on that.
Yeah.
But the reality is that's just the way it is.
Right.
And for me, I don't make myself sick over it, because I know in my heart I do the right thing for every single one of my players, even when they're not doing right, or even when they're doing good. I do what's best for them. And they may not see it in the moment, but years down the road, they'll see it kick in. And in the elite ones, they see it right then and there.
Right.
The elite ones see it right then and there, and those are usually the ones that bloom and take off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. More so on a personal level with you, man, just let's talk about some of the, again, it being tough, you know, for young black coaches. Man, is there anything that comes to mind, you know, as you were pursuing opportunities, you know, like I said, where, you know, where we get those, you know, those stereotypes where, I don't know if you watched the documentary with Christian Dawkins, and I'm not going to dive too deep into that, but just, you know, hearing how some of those coaches that were involved, you know, that all they were good for was recruiting. Right. Or, you know, or they wouldn't be good enough to, you know, to put that white hat on and be the head coach of a program. Right. You know, and just even me being a guy, you know, just that's not necessarily saying that, you know, I've ran into that, but just me being a guy, me being aware, you know, the perception of others that because of my skin color, you know, just being aware of what can come with that.
Right. Well, I would say this. I'm gonna answer that two ways. The first one is everybody is not like that.
Yeah.
You know, everybody doesn't think that you're like that.
Right.
Okay. But the majority do. So people can say what they want to say. That's the truth. The majority do think young black coaches are one kind of way. You know, and that's why it's up to people like myself, who Lonnie Thompson put it in me to make sure that I'm sharing my light with the next young coaches that you're not that way.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, don't exhaust yourself trying to prove everybody you're not. Be you every day.
Yeah.
You know, show them your worth by every day what you do. You want people to respect you? Let Cumberland, y'all go up there and beat Georgetown two times in a row.
Right.
Go win a championship.
Yeah.
Take them boys to the national tournament and be number 15 in the country. If somebody wants to hire you because they think you're a great recruiter, get in there, take the job, and then go show them why you're not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
By every day. Not by, because when you get there, you're still going to have some days where you get disrespected, no
Right.
matter what. Obama made it all the way to become the president. People didn't believe he could do it. And he's still being disrespected.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you could kill yourself trying to prove everybody right. And that's why I made my first point is everybody doesn't think one way, but the majority maybe do. But you will literally kill yourself trying to prove everybody wrong.
Yeah.
So you just focus on the tasks in front of you and being great at what you do every day. Make sure you're working for a head coach or for somebody that's gonna care about you to put you in a position to grow. Because your stereotype will be true if all they let you do is recruit.
Right.
But if your head coach is allowing you to call plays in practice, coach the scout team or coach the white team or have a scouting report,
Right.
be elite at it,
Yeah.
take it personal,
Yeah.
you know, and then even when it's done, go back over it again.
Yeah.
Have that mama mentality on the scouting report.
Yeah.
And then eventually over time, and there's no time limit on time.
Right.
Eventually over time, you'll get the respect
Yeah.
that you deserve. And it doesn't matter. Because guess what? Coach Penny Collins could take Tennessee State to the NCAA tournament and draw up a fantastic backdoor alley-oop live play and come down and change the defense up and win and all this. And then next year, they'll still be saying, oh, he's a great recruiter.
Oh, man.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Whatever. It don't matter what I am. All I know is I'm going to put my hands in that dirt and keep going forward every single day.
Yeah.
So you can't get caught up in that, man, because we've been singing that song too long.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Right.
And the only way we can change it is just keep on proving them wrong.
Yeah. Speaking of being you, man, beside me, ladies and gentlemen, we got a top 2 freshest coach in the country, and he's not 2.
Definitely
Man.
not two.
Man, Coach, tell us how, man, with your game day fits, man, just how, the confidence in yourself, and just your swag, man, just how that goes into, how you pick what you wear on game days, man.
You know, I really don't put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah.
You know, my wife, if she was on here, she'd look at me and say, I pick your stuff out like she does a lot of times. And she's like, well, what you doing tomorrow? I'm like, I don't know. So I would rock these and with this, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. So that happens sometimes. But to be honest with you, people like what they like. Like everybody got their own little something they like. Some people like to get trading cards.
Yeah.
You know, some people like to collect cars and
Yeah.
antiques and buy, high fashion jewelry or whatever. I like shoes.
Right.
I mean, that's just my little thing. I like to get fresh kicks and I like fresh gear. And just because somebody might not like it, I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like what I like.
Right.
And in terms of wearing it in games, it's just comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I got Cole Haans, I got dress shoes, I got button ups, I got all of that stuff. I got nice ties. When I'm coaching, do I want to be all like this and my toes hurting? Or do I want to have some fresh Nikes on? It's comfortable and my feet feel good and my neck is good and I can coach the right way.
I'm pretty sure you rather I'm pretty sure you rather stomp in some Jordan 9s than some Cole Haans.
No doubt. So it's just game to game. I just put on what's comfortable and it's a wake up in the morning type of deal. Sometimes the night before, but I'm just being myself, like you said. That's pretty much what it boils down to.
Yeah. So, man, let's speak on the HBCU experience, man. Man, I've been blessed to, be of a small percent to play college basketball, and then that has been a vehicle that's taken me to, you know, where I am today.
By the way, you're supposed to come to Cumberland out of high school. He eventually got there,
man.
But I recruited him.
We're gonna settle this. We're gonna settle this now. We're gonna settle this now. And you know, shout out to Coach Jason Sheldon, and you know, shout out to my guy Coach P, Coach Parnell. You know, I'm an RP.
Yes, sir.
To Coach P, man, love you, man.
Great dude.
But yes, man, we gonna settle this right here and now. There's a couple things in my life that if I can go back, I would change. And I'm letting Coach Brian Penny Collins know now. If I can go back to high school, 2011, I might have made a different decision than what I did.
You should have.
But you know, I was young. You know, I was young and. You know, I was influenced and, you know, things like that. So we won't dive into that.
We gonna hold it against you.
Yeah. But yeah. If I go back to 2011, you know, I probably would have made a different decision.
No doubt. It's cool though. I ain't hold it against you, man. I mean.
But yeah, man, you know, I've been blessed to, you know, to play at the collegiate level. And it's gotten me where I am today, in the college coaching. But man, I haven't had that HBCU experience. Mm-hmm. TSU, man, we out here, you know.
Man, it's second to none. I can tell you that. I'm mad too because I didn't get a chance to go to undergrad. You know, it's an experience that's like no other. There's an atmosphere of family like no other. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be somebody else or wear a mask every day or pretend to like something that you really don't.
Yeah.
There's nobody judging you. The people around the community are invested in the school. Mm-hmm. The alumni base is strong, and you know, shout out to my grandma. She just had a funeral yesterday. But people, it's like, you know that feelings you have being around your grandma and your aunties, and they just pray for you and care about you. Mm-hmm. Imagine a school like that where you go to the cafeteria and your grandmom's down there. Yeah. You leave a classroom and your auntie just got done teaching you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or you go around the corner to go get some wings at a wing spot. Right. And your uncle in there. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, even though it's not your uncle or your grandma, it's just that feel. Like, it's a community feel. You know, you could talk about the tailgates and the homecomings and all that stuff that comes with it. Nobody can match that. Nobody can match the band, the atmospheres at the games. But to me, it's that family atmosphere that you get at a HBCU. And, you know, that's one thing that I wish I could experience in undergrad. Yeah. But I'm glad I'm experiencing it now. Yeah.
Let's move into 2020, man. It's been a crazy year. Man, how do you even, you know, 5, 10, 20 years from now, man, how do we even explain, you know, how do we even begin to write a book on 2020? But I mean, it's you know, as rough as it's been, you know, it's been a learning experience for us all. It's you know, we've all had room for improvement, room for growth, and that's how I've tried to, you know, take on 2020. But man, we've all had to adjust. You know, we've also had, you know, some social issues and things like that, which aren't new to us. You know, I like how somebody put it. It's just being captured more. Yeah. And you know, with the help of social media, at the you can pick up your phone and at the click of a button or an app, you know, you're on live or you can tweet or post something. In which, you know, it's some very unfortunate situations, but you know, they're just being captured. But you know, and just going back to opportunity, man, you know, and I'll let you explain it, but you know, rather than, you know, just kind of sit in the spilled milk, you know, you've taken the opportunity, or you've taken the initiative to start an organization. Just kind of tell us about that.
Yeah, so I would say for about last 2 years, we started an organization called Embrace Us, but I didn't roll it out to the quarantine because that was the first time I actually had opportunity to work on it and conversate with other people about it. And so now that we're sitting here in October, we've been around for the last 4 months, and we've been able to do some tremendous things already. Embrace Us is an organization that is for coaches but now we've expanded. We have ADs, administrators, high school coaches, college coaches, head coaches, junior college coaches, NAIA coaches, people from the NBA. And, the things that we've been able to do so far have been tremendous. We're really focusing on empowering, transforming the next wave of the next special coach. Who's that going to be? Who's going to be the next AD? We really want to talk about hiring practices, getting more seats at the table for our diverse Black women, men, not only Black men and women, but all diversities. We want another seat at the table. Also, we talk about mental health. That's a key for us.
It's a big one.
We already had 2 events for students, mental health events for students of our organization. So we've had over 60 kids already involved in that, and we got a mental health coach. We got a mental health one coming up for coaches here in a month or so. So we're doing a women's coaching clinic. We're doing a coaching clinic for NAIA and Division II coaches coming up. We just got a lot of things we're rolling out right now, and our organization right now is in the getting to know each other process. Even though we're rolling things out, we're spending time with each other. We pair up with one other member every month, and that whole month you got to reach out to them 2 or 3 times a week just to get to know each other, so that we can really have that family bond, so we can attack it. So we started off with 5 members. We got over 60 members now, and Embrace Us is just going to continue to grow. We're nationwide now. So we're just going to continue to keep building, man. I'm really excited about our organization. We're a zero ego organization. That's why you don't see us all on social media and who's in it and how he's in it and how he be a part of it. Eventually, those things will happen. We'll let people know who's in the organization, but we don't care about that right now. We care about becoming a family and being able to really, really create some change and doing it the right way in a marathon other than a sprint. So we're definitely heading in the right direction, and Embrace Us, you'll definitely be hearing a lot about it. Hopefully for the rest of the time. Hopefully I can die and somebody take over the organization one day. That's how long I want Embrace Us to be around.
And Coach, tell us how tell the viewers how we can follow or tap in to Embrace Us.
So we got our website, embraceus.org. We have our social media pages, and honestly, as we continue to grow, you'll see us more in the public eye. So right now we're just kind of on a recommendation type deal in terms of being in the organization. But I'll tell you what, man, the people that are already in it, the message has been loud and clear that you have a light. It is your duty to share it with somebody. It's your duty to share your light with the next up and comer. So you got your life. We know you have your players, and if winning and losing is all you care about, then that's not enough. If winning championships is all you're gonna do, that's not enough. You have to do more. You have to, because as you get older, and I'm sure if you're not experiencing this, you'll get to a place where it's like, am I doing enough in my life? Yeah, I'm coaching. Yeah, my family is stable, and my players are good, and I'm pouring into them. But I feel like something's missing. I feel like I'm doing more. And right now, for a lot of our members, Embrace Us is filling that hole that's left out in a lot of people's lives right now. So I'm excited. We're doing a turkey drive next month. We're giving away 200 turkeys, teaming up with FCA. Drew Maddox from CPA is in Embrace Us. He's one of our advisory board members. Brittany Ezell, the head coach from East Tennessee State. Richie Riley, the head coach from South Alabama. I could go on and on about the people in the group, but we got a very strong group, man, and I'm excited about the things we're going to be doing.
It's good to hear, man. Let's hone in on the program, man. TSU men's basketball. Like we said, man, it's been a rough 2020. It's been a rough year, and particularly with COVID. How has that had an impact on you guys' program?
Man, just constantly nervous. always worried about COVID. We test once a week, so every time we get tested, I'm just always worried that somebody's gonna call me and tell me that somebody's got it. And I've been very comfortable with our protocols, and our guys have been following it. And I'm just hoping that we can stay on that path and not have this situation where we're missing a lot of games once the season starts. But it has definitely threw a monkey wrench in athletics in the world. But we're just going to try to keep forward, man. Keep going forward and keep doing what we're supposed to do. Wash our hands, social distance, wear our mask. That's the most important thing.
Speaking on a lighter note, as far as the program, man, you know, we're still young, we're still fresh in our young tenure at TSU. I mean, how's the first couple of years, man? How's that been for you? And what are some hot takes you've gotten from your first couple of years?
Well, we definitely going in the right direction. Just look at all the places I've been. You know, we want to go do it the right way and build it the right way and win the right amount of games. Yeah, that matters. But also getting the right kind of people in the program, the right character.
Yeah.
Graduating our players.
Right.
And so we have 100% graduation rate. Every player that's came through has graduated. That's the biggest thing I can to tell you about our program. But in terms of winning and losing, we definitely are doing better. You know, we doubled our win total.
Right.
We tied the most wins in Gentry Center for home games. We won a Thanksgiving tournament, Las Vegas Invitational this past year. Won the championship out in Vegas. We're beating some good teams.
Right.
You know, teams that have bigger budgets than us.
Yeah.
We finished in the league. We made the overseas tournament and won a game.
Right.
Which is that Tennessee State hadn't done in about 5-6 years.
Yeah.
We tripled our fan attendance.
I was about to bring that up.
Yeah. Tripled our fan attendance, which was number 1 in the country.
Right.
Bigger than Duke, bigger than Kentucky, bigger than Memphis. All those schools. Tennessee State was number 1 in the country.
Yeah.
In fan increase from 2019 to 20. We were number 1 in the OVC in ESPN Plus views, which shows me that people at home are watching Tennessee State play.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So the energy is crazy. We switched from Adidas to Nike.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
That was a big one.
You know what I'm saying? Checks over stripes. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like. You know what I mean? All of that.
Yeah.
So we doing that. The energy is great. People are talking about Tennessee State basketball. We have a culture in the city that is starting to want to be a part of the program and be invested in it.
Right.
There's some massive changes coming to our basketball program, men's and women. We're building something special, and we have a new AD in Dr. Allen who has a vision that is matches mine. You know, people thought I was crazy when I was saying some of the stuff I want to do.
Right.
But the stuff he wants to do is surpasses my vision. So I'm happy to team up with him. And man, we it's in a really good place right now for TSU basketball, and we're just gonna continue, Lord willing, barring COVID. Keep moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. Moving into this year, man. What are you guys some and we don't have to give any we don't have to help people with their scouting reports and nothing like that. But just what are some things that you're looking forward to going into 2020, 2021?
With our team, right?
Yeah.
Well, I would say that going from the first year to the second year, we only had 2 guys that came back, you know what I'm saying, from that previous team. And those 2 guys were able to kind of set the foundation of what we were trying to do and helped us double our win total. Well, this season we have 9 guys returning. Yeah. So those 9 guys have to show the new guys how we do things. Right. And they've done a tremendous job with that. Right. I mean, unbelievable job with my expectations and how I want things to be done. And they just have we have to stay on that path. Yeah. We have an extremely disciplined group right now. We're talented. I really don't see us being any less talented than we were last year. Right. I'm going to be a better coach because I'm just a year older. Yeah. And our players are going to be our guys. We now have guys that have been in the program 3 years. Some of them have been here 3 years. Right. And that's great for us. You know what I'm saying? Great for our culture. Right. So we just got to continue to move in the right direction. And the wins and losses, they definitely matter. Yeah. But the direction that our team is headed right now, we're still in that phase of trying to become an elite mid-major program. Right. Okay. Winning the OVC is our goal. Yeah, that's one of them. But an elite mid-major program that every year we're in the mix. Yeah. And we're headed there right now.
And the wins and losses will take care of themselves.
It'll take care of itself.
Man, I heard a phrase this morning actually. And you talking about some of your returning guys, it just reminded me of it. You hear a lot of coaches, and I say I'm a culprit of it, but you hear a lot of coaches talk about creating a culture. The phrase I heard this morning was defending your culture. Yeah, and that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. Some of your returning guys are doing for your program.
Yep, and that's exactly what we want to stand by. You know, we go through these processes and we teach them on PowerPoints about life and about how to do things the right way and teach them about the things that could potentially harm the team. And it's so cool to see the guys that have been around the program. We haven't gotten to our PowerPoint series yet. And they're already bringing up those points. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we don't do that. Yeah. Nuh-uh. deserving to win. That's not deserving to, no, they understand, they already saying it. And those things are pieces of exactly what you're talking about. And that was Chris Beard from Texas Tech that said that. Those are defending the culture examples that we're having now that we haven't had in the past, because we had bad kids. It's just they didn't know what Coach Collins and the staff wanted. But now people know. So it's just going to get better and better. And like you said, man, the winning will take care of itself.
Right. So, and which you brought up my next point, man. Deserve to win. How did that come about with you guys?
No, honestly, that was something that I came up with in 2008, 2009 when I was a grad assistant at Tennessee State. And we made it all the way to the OVC championship game under Sal Alexander, and we lost the championship game. And I remember I wrote down all the things I thought we should do better to win it the next year. And the title of it was Deserve to Win. Like, these are some things that'll make sure we win it next year. And I remember when I got the job at TSU, I was just going through some of my old notes from my TSU old folder, and I was like, oh, look at this paper I wrote. Right. You know, shout out to Gerald Robinson. I trained him that whole summer. Yeah. And I had, on the back of that sheet, I had a workout for Gerald Robinson. You know what I'm saying? So on that sheet, I was looking at it. I said, deserve to win. Well, dang, that's where I need to start. I need to start this job at Tennessee State where I left off in 2008-2009 season. We're going to start off right here. This is what we're going to do the next year, which I didn't go back the next year. I ended up going to Cumberland. Right. So I was like, this one we're going to start off at. And deserving to win, it just encompasses being a good person. Yeah. You have to be a good person. Right. To deserve to win, you got to be at class on time. You got to turn in assignments on time. Not just turn them in, turn them in on time. Right. You got to get to know your teacher. You got to treat people right. You got to treat women right. Yeah. You got to treat the manager the same way you treat the president. Right. You know, all that stuff deserves to win, because at the end of the day, you a jerk and we get to the game and it's a 50-50 call, or that ball could bounce one way or the other, karma ain't going to go your way. God ain't going to bless us to have that win. Right. You know, if you're not deserving to win every single day, doing things the right way. Right. So that's the mantra. You know, it goes all the way down to the locker room, man. Yeah. You better not leave if your stuff ain't right in the locker, you're not deserving to win. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing stuff in the apartments that's not copacetic to what we're trying to do, we're not going to deserve to win. You may win some games, you might steal something here and there. Yeah. We're not going to ultimately get what we want. Right. And nobody's got to be perfect. Right. You know what I'm saying? I know that. Yeah. I ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if you're a good person and you're doing things the right way, you'll deserve to win. Not only the game, but you'll deserve to win in life.
That's good, man. Man, Penny, as we wrap up, man, what can we mark your words on, man? And it's a broad question. He ain't lying. And you can take it. You can take it however you want, man. But you know, whether it's something about you or whether it's, you know, some advice for our viewers, you know, younger athletes who aspire to, you know, make the middle school, high school team or whatever, man. What can we mark Penny Collins' words on?
You can mark my words and take my advice on. The best thing you can be is yourself. You can mark my words that Coach Collins, my staff, and my program will always be taught the deserve to win mantra. And that encompasses being yourself as well. Yeah. Doing things the right way. True discipline when nobody's looking. And our program will stand for that. And eventually, only the Lord knows when this is going to happen, but Tennessee State will become a premier program in college basketball. And it's starting right now. And the Nashville community, we really need you. I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, everybody talks about, we talked about it off camera, you know, about supporting. You know, I'm not going to throw the Black Lives Matter in people's faces. But at the end of the day, we have more power than we think we do. Right. And it's not about just coming to a basketball game that's supporting you. You just want people to come because you're the coach. Yeah. But the reality is Tennessee State is our university. Yes. It's Nashville's university. We're the only public school in the city. You know, so it's our university. There's no reason, barring COVID, we shouldn't be packed out. Right. I played at Whites Creek. My daddy was the coach at Pearl. You played at Station Camp, is that right? Played at Hunters Lane. We had guys that played at MLK, Maplewood, Stratford, Glencliff. And I could go on and on in this every school. These are all my people. Yeah. All these former players and coaches, I'm from you. I'm a direct product of all of these schools in this city. I am. We should be behind our university.
Right.
Tennessee State. We need you. We need y'all to turn this thing into something that could send a ripple out in our whole community. Businesses will thrive around Nashville, especially around Tennessee State. Our people would directly benefit from it, and we could do something that has never been done and change the history of college athletics, and we could do it right at Tennessee State. So you can mark my words that if people buy in and be who I think they can be and be themselves and be authentic, we can all do something special together, and it'll never be about me. It'll be about us. So
there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, man. I think Drake said it, man. You know, he said something about, you know, when your idols become your rivals, man. I appreciate you coming on to the show, man, because, you know, you're somebody I look up to. And man, just to have you sitting right here beside me, you know what I'm saying? Having my idol beside me, man, this is big, man, and I cherish this. I definitely don't take this for granted. Take it lightly. But like I said, man, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you coming on the show. Appreciate you for blessing our viewers, and man, I'm gonna let you take us out.
Man, hey, thanks for having me. I think this is a big time production, a big time podcast. You know, I talked to you the other day. I couldn't believe that you was going to invite me on. I was just excited about it. I was so quick to come over here and continue to watch. Mark my words, it's going to continue to grow. And I'm just glad I was one of your guests in the beginning.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, boss.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? It's Jay Duke.
My name is Mark Brown.
Hey, bro, come on, turn up, man. You gotta wake up, bro.
What's good, y'all? My name is Mark Brown.
Make sure y'all keep watching, man. We got great content on the way. Make sure y'all keep checking us out.